Hey, welcome back. Damn, it said the battery low. Oh, you gotta be kidding me, bro. Anyways, we're gonna just do this one reaction and then we're gonna get right to it. We're gonna put the battery on and we're gonna charge it. Damn. My bad, y'all. Hold up. I'm gonna hop right in and just do the reaction. I don't even wanna waste no time there. Alright, let's go.
Honestly, that's basic stuff. In fact, if you violate the law, that's exactly when due process kicks in, because you get to have a hearing of some kind to determine whether or not the case against you is true. I don't understand why that's even something a congressperson would say.
But just to the overall premise, President Trump was elected by the American people to secure the border, end human trafficking, and defeat the drug cartels. Hands down. That is what the American people are expecting from him. Just last night, there were 17 additional illegal aliens that were deported, 6 of them who were, they had raped children. Like, these are people who need to go. The administration has made it very clear.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to interrupt because I want to make sure we're staying on the premise here. It's not about actually those people who, you named the 17 of them, had final orders of deportation. They had actually had their cases adjudicated. They were using basic immigration deporting tools to deport them because they did have their day in court. We're talking about the people who didn't.
But the bottom line is that
That's facts. Everybody gotta have their day in court, but like the people that he sent to Venezuela didn't get to have their day in court, which is like I don't know if y'all feel this, but think about it. They're asking for they're saying this because of a different reason, right? You don't want the president to have too much power to where he can just deport people whenever he feels like it. Because then it might lead to other stuff happening, like green card holders getting deported just because they don't agree with the politics of today, stuff like that. So like it's definitely like a conversation that we need to have about it. But let's keep going.
First of all, they're doing it very quickly. They're deporting illegal alien criminals. The one thing that I will say is that there's a lot of information that we don't know that Department of Homeland Security does have. They're doing their job. They have the intelligence. It may not be shared publicly, but some of it may not be able to be shared publicly.
They're not doing that. The person that Joe Rogan was talking about, and I actually think he might have been conflating multiple cases. It's a story of a gay makeup artist named Audrey, who had some clown tattoos with the name Mom on them.
Don't worry about that.
Are you suggesting that the gay makeup artist is a member of Tren de Aragua? That was the accusation? That was the stated claim. And by the way, there are many more of them. There are 3. The reason why I think Joe Rogan is a little bit confused, he mentioned a gay barber. It's actually a gay makeup artist. He might have also been a barber. I found in a 5-minute Google search 3 separate barbers who were sort of rounded up because of their tattoos that were apparently Tren de Aragua tattoos. One of them is the Nike Jumpman logo. Another one, multiple clowns. I mean, LeBron has a clown tattoo. Is he a member of Tren de Aragua?
Caroline Lovett was asked about this because there was a document that the administration submitted in court that basically said if you have a tattoo, you have clothing that might be associated with this gang, you're in the gang. She was asked about it. Here's what she said.
They're classified by simply having certain symbols in their tattoos and wearing certain symbols.
I ain't gonna lie, this chick loyal as hell to Trump. She loyal. She's stupid loyal. Like, she'll get up there and just go on with anything he say. It don't even matter what it is. Hey, yeah, crazy.
That alone is enough to get someone classified as TA and sent to El Salvador.
That's not true, actually, Andrew.
According to this document, it is.
Shame on you and shame on the mainstream media for trying to cover for these individuals. This is a vicious gang, Andrew. When you are questioning the credibility of these agents who are putting their life on the line.
That is what the document said.
Let me go back just to the premise of what Joe Rogan was talking about, because he's right. It's horrific to believe that in a constitutional democracy like the United States of America, where it's supposed to be guaranteed that we're having to rely on information based on an administration that does not have a good relationship with the truth. They're not even willing to provide the judges who are part of these cases with the documents to prove that some of these individuals actually either did have due process or had been found to be criminal gang members. And let's be very clear. I don't think anybody at this table wants criminals in this country who are murdering children, who are hurting people. I think that's, like, we can probably go baseline there. But when it's
that's the underlying thing they're hiding under. They're hiding under the fact that technically you break the law with being here as an illegal immigrant. And they're hiding with that by calling you a criminal, but adding in the extra side of it that's not really true. Like, for example, like when you look at what Obama deported, people talk about this a lot. When Obama deported 3 million people, 91% of those people all had criminal records that were outside of just being illegal immigrants. They did more, right? But Trump just wants to deport everybody. Like, for example, the Haitian migrants that stay up in Springfield, he wants to deport all of them. He wants to deport everybody that came through on the Joe Biden note to actually like come in on a legal premise. And that's the part where it starts getting a little weird. Like, so do you want to just deport all the illegal immigrants out? And if you do, you got to remember, like, billions of dollars are paid by illegal immigrants in taxes. Those of you who don't understand, if an illegal immigrant buys something in America, it is taxed. That thing that they buy that's taxed, it's part of our taxes. Second, the IRS keeps track of all illegal immigrants. Like, they know who pays what, right? The IRS doing that, I know from what I heard, USCIC, I think it's USC or whatever the hell you call it, is trying to get the IRS to give them that information. But the IRS is telling them that these people give this much to the government a year. So think about why they're never all, it's never like they're never gonna be deported quickly, because they're dumping money into the economy. So y'all can debate me in the comments on that, but that's just what I've learned about illegal immigration and why it's so complex. It's so complex, one, because of the natural birthright citizenship thing, where the children are born and they become American citizens. And it's also complicated because of the amount of money that immigrants put into the economy. But there's a third reason too: the jobs that they take that Americans don't want to do, or Americans are too expensive to do. Like farming and things like that. Things that like factory work that pay them under the table, basically. And I know people are like, well, they should be paying American citizens, but what ends up happening is they can't afford it. So they travel overseas to go to places where they can afford that work and labor. And they will keep doing that no matter how he tariffs the economy. Who wouldn't? If you had a business, wouldn't you go somewhere where it's cheaper for the labor? Labor is the highest expense. So let's keep going.
I think we have to ask ourselves is, if you believe in a constitutional democracy, do you not want your president to follow the law? And by the way, in our own CNN poll, a vast majority of Americans said they're concerned and want to see Donald Trump follow the law.
Isn't this exactly what we denounce other countries for doing? Not giving our own citizens, when they get wrongfully detained around the world, our own citizens the due process that they deserve?
Well, I think that multiple things can be true. Number one, I delineate between American citizens and everyone else. If you're a U.S. citizen, I put you in a different category.
On a due process, that's not a distinction that the law makes.
If you've come here and broken our laws and committed violent acts or murder and rape and whatever, I put you in a different category. When it comes to the law and due process, that is not a distinction. Well, if you like to argue that Trent Aragua should have the same rights and that you get as an American citizen, go ahead.
I don't change the Constitution.
Argument is you're saying that a terrorist can walk across the border and become effectively a U.S. citizen? That's not what I'm saying.
Scott, look at me. Okay? You and I are talking respect. Okay? What I'm saying to you is that the law does not make a distinction between U.S. citizens and everybody else when it comes to being accused of crimes. Are you saying that that should not be in place? That if you happen to not be a citizen, you get to be thrown into a jail with no process at all?
I'm saying that these people are effectively terrorists. They walked across our borders illegally.
Okay.
They are violent. I don't really want them
here. But doesn't the government have to prove that they are who they say they are?
Correct. I think
you can say
eventually
it's not a concession that you like Trent Aragua. It's just a question of the basics of civics in this.
I think eventually the government will have to show all of its cards on everybody that they have detained, deported, or done anything to in this arena. But there is no doubt that the Trump administration is rounding up effectively terrorists who came across here illegally, committed horrific acts, and do not need to be in this country.
They are doing that, perhaps, but they're also doing a lot of other things too, and that's why the courts are asking questions about it.
Yeah, they're doing a lot. Like ICE is detaining people at the borders. Like ICE is showing up. Like USD, from what my understanding, right? USD. Oh God, Border Patrol. They and ICE. I don't think they're separate entities. So they're supposed to do things separately, but I heard ICE has been showing up at certain areas at the border and collecting people. That's not constitutional. Like, one, like, how do we distinguish between violent criminals if that's what we want out of our country, which 100% I agree, violent criminals shouldn't be here, but like, what about people that we consider criminal illegal aliens, whatever, like who just crossed the border for a better life and they've been living here or they've been in this country for a certain period of time? I don't know, like, why, like, for some reason, like, when we hear this conversation, huh? Oh shoot. Okay. But yeah, but like why both sides can't make a distinction? One side make a distinction on the fact that we're talking about people who live here, families, children, mothers and fathers not being split up. That conversation, and then the other side of the conversation where there's criminals, like criminals that are break the law. But anyways, I'm out, y'all. Peace.